if you've ever run a business or even just worked in one, you know the feeling, right? Those endless piles of paper receipts, maybe that slight knot in your stomach when you think about tax season.
Oh, yeah. And the worry, that constant background hum about losing important financial data, it's a real pressure point.
Absolutely. It keeps people up at night. But what if there was a way to, smooth all that out, make it automated, efficient? Well, today, we're going to dig into exactly that. We're doing a deep dive on QCloud. It's a cloud solution made specifically for businesses using QUORiON point-of-sale systems. Our mission really is to see how QCloud acts like this kind of modern digital helper for all that POS data. We're using the official brochure, the QCloud brochurein.pdf, as our guide. It's got a lot of detail, even some visuals.
Yeah, it lays things out pretty clearly.
Okay, so let's unpack this.
QCloud.
It seems like it's not just one thing, is it? It feels more like a whole ecosystem of tools.
That's a good way to put it, an ecosystem.
So where should we start? Maybe the most fundamental thing for any business. Data backup, keeping things safe. Let's talk about their fiscal package.
Right, the fiscal package. And it's interesting because QCloud goes beyond just like a simple backup. It's really a whole approach to managing data, staying compliant, even improving the customer experience.
Okay. Compliance and customer experience later. First, that backup. The terror of a server crash or losing physical records.
Yeah.
That's like the classic business nightmare.
Exactly. And QCloud, with this fiscal package, really aims to turn that nightmare into, peace of mind. It automates the whole process.
Automate how?
Your fiscal POS data gets securely stored automatically in the cloud daily.
Yeah.
So it pretty much eliminates that risk of data loss from hardware failure or, physical accidents.
So it's just there, safe in the cloud.
Always there. And that leads to the other benefits. It's not just about avoiding disaster.
Right. What else does that automatic secure backup give you?
Well, efficiency, for one. Huge efficiency. You can access your data anytime, anywhere. Smartphone, tablet, PC, just log in through a web browser. No more messing with physical backups.
Okay, so accessibility is key.
And compliance. This is a big one. The system is built from the ground up to meet legal standards for financial data storage, both local and international. Think inspections, audits, reports. It makes all of that much, much simpler.
You mentioned compliance standards. The brochure throws around terms like GoBD backup and BSFIN-V Casey backup. Can you break those down for us in simple terms?
Sure. They sound technical, but they're basically about rules. GoED, that's the German standard for keeping electronic books and records properly, making sure they're compliant, auditable.
Okay.
And DSFIN-VK and TSE. Those relate to the technical security measures required for cash registers in Germany. They guarantee your data hasn't been tampered with, basically. It's integrity.
So the system handles these specific German requirements automatically?
Yes. If you look at the interface image in the brochure, the backup center, you see those exact backup types listed. You can even pull out data for specific cash registers. They call them boxes, like box 06400469, for a specific year, like 2024, down to the individual file.
Wow, that's specific.
It means you're not just preparing for compliance, you are compliant. It's built in.
So for a business owner listening, this really changes things. That whole headache of manual backups, worrying about audits, digging through records, becomes this smooth, automated background process.
Exactly. It frees up so much mental energy, not to mention actual time you can put back into, actually running and growing the business.
Right. Customer service, new ideas, anything but audit prep.
Precisely.
Okay, so the back office data is secure, compliant, handled. Let's shift focus now. What about the front lines, the customer interaction? QCloud seems to have something interesting for receipts, too, the online receipt feature.
Yes, the online receipt. This is where things get really modern and eco-friendly, too.
Eco-friendly. How so?
Instead of printing every single receipt on paper, businesses can offer a digital version using a QR code.
Oh, okay. I've seen those around.
Yeah. It's super simple. After the sale, a unique QR code pops up on the customer display screen.
And the customer just scans it with their phone.
Exactly. They scan it and bam, instant receipt download. It comes as a PDF, easy to save, easy to find later. No more crumpled paper stuffing wallets.
That does sound convenient. And I guess that's the eco-friendly part. Less paper.
Significantly less paper, which means lower costs for the business on paper rolls, ink, printer wear and tear. But it still meets all the legal requirements for giving a receipt.
Can customers still get a paper one if they want?
Oh, absolutely. If someone prefers paper or needs it right then, the POS can still print one instantly. It's about offering flexibility.
I saw some images of this in the brochure. There's the POS screen with the QR code, and then an example digital receipt. It looks like a normal receipt, just digital. Items listed, total, date, time, even some complex signature data.
Yeah, it contains all the necessary fiscal information, like that example from Bistro Sportplatz, showing the burger, the cola, the total, timestamp, and that long cryptographic signature string. It's all there.
So it's a win-win, really. The business saves money and resources, and the customer gets this modern, convenient green option.
Totally. And think beyond just the receipt itself. It's a digital touch point right at the end of the sale. Potentially, you could link that to loyalty programs or other engagement down the line. It opens up possibilities.
Interesting. Okay, so we've got secure backups, compliant data, digital receipts. What about understanding what all this data means for the business?
Yeah.
Making sense of it all.
Right, because collecting data is one thing, using it is another. That brings us to the QCloud report package.
The report package. So this is about analytics.
Exactly. It's about getting full transparency and control over your sales data. Remember, every receipt, every daily report from the POS, it's all automatically uploaded and stored securely. But the report package lets you use that data. It organizes it, makes it accessible.
How does it do that? Is it easy to use for someone who maybe isn't, a data whiz?
That's the goal. You can easily view, print, or export your sales data whenever you need it. A really practical feature is the Z-Report reprinting.
Z-Report. That's like the end-of-day summary, right?
Correct. The daily sales report. You can view, reprint, or export copies of those directly from the cloud anytime. No more digging through old printouts if you need a past report.
Okay, that's useful. But what about deeper insights? Trends?
That's where the advanced reporting and analytics come in. You can generate custom reports, visualize data, see what's selling well, when your peak times are, things like that. It helps you track performance and spot trends to make informed decisions.
The brochure had an image of this too, didn't it? Like a dashboard?
Yes, exactly. It showed things like total sales, the best sales day recently, the daily average, and charts, a bar chart for daily sales trends, a pie chart showing the top 10 best-selling items by quantity.
Like Schweinemedaillons or Thüringer Bratwurst in that example?
Right, so you get this immediate visual snapshot of what's happening in your business. It's not just raw numbers. It's presented in a way that's easy to grasp.
So for maybe a smaller business owner, this moves them away from just guessing or going on gut feeling.
Pretty much. It's like having a mini business intelligence department built right in. It gives you actual data to back up your strategic decisions, which is a huge advantage. You're not flying blind.
Yeah, that's powerful. Moving from guesswork to data-driven strategy.
And connecting all these dots, the secure data, the detailed reports, it all logically leads to the next step in the business cycle, doesn't it?
Which is?
Accounting. Getting all this information ready for the books, for the tax advisor.
Ah, yes. The final frontier. Or often the most tedious part.
It can be. And that's where the QCloud date export feature comes into play.
DEV. Okay, I know that's a big name in accounting software, especially in Germany. So this helps bridge that gap.
Precisely. It's designed specifically to streamline transferring data to tax advisors who use DATEV. It aims to optimize that whole workflow.
How does it optimize it? What are the usual pain points it solves?
Well, think about getting your sales data to your accountant. Traditionally, it might involve manual summaries, exporting spreadsheets, maybe even sending physical reports, prone to errors, time-consuming.
Right.
QCloud automates a lot of this. Remember, all the receipt and journal data is already stored securely. Within QCloud, you can then assign relevant accounting codes to different types of transactions. Sales, vouchers, deposits, withdrawals. You map them to specific accounts.
Like coding transactions.
Sort of, yeah. You set up the mapping. Then you can export this data in the standardized DATEV format.
And that format just imports directly into the accountant software.
That's the idea. DATEV format is like the standard language for this in Germany. So the tax consultant can import it directly into their DATEV accounting software. It massively cuts down on manual data entry on their end, which means faster processing and fewer errors.
I see. The brochure image showed this, with drop-downs for selecting the checkout, dates, and mapping things like cash account 1600 or daily income 7% 8300.
Exactly. It shows that configuration process. And it even showed an example of the exported CSV file, the raw data in that DATEV structure. It makes the collaboration between the business and the tax advisor much smoother.
That sounds like a huge time saver. And probably saves money on accounting fees, too, if it reduces their manual work.
Potentially, yes. It definitely streamlines the process. And there's another piece mentioned here, too, electronic invoicing.
E-invoicing, how does that fit in?
QCloud also gives you the ability to create e-invoices, not just as PDFs, but also in machine-readable XML formats.
Why is that important?
Well, regulations are changing, especially for B2B transactions. Mandatory e-invoicing is becoming a reality in Germany and across the EU. So having this capability built in means businesses are prepared for that shift. They're future-proofing their invoicing process.
Okay, so it's preparing businesses for upcoming legal requirements, too.
Compliance again, but looking forward this time.
So bringing this all together then, QCloud seems to tackle a lot of the core operational headaches for a business using a POS system.
It really does try to be a comprehensive solution.
You got the fiscal package for that crucial secure backup and meeting those compliance rules. Then the online receipts, which are convenient for customers, good for the environment, and save the business money.
Right.
Then the report package, turning raw data into actual insights for making better decisions, giving you that analytical power.
Democratizing BI, essentially.
And finally, the DATEV export, smoothing out that whole accounting and tax prep process, even getting ready for e-invoicing.
Yep, connecting seamlessly with the financial backend.
It really covers the data journey from the point of sale right through to the accountant. It feels like it's designed to take away the administrative burden and let you focus on the actual business.
That's definitely the goal, turning pain points into efficient, automated processes, giving back time and control.
So here's something to think about, maybe a final thought for you listening.
Yeah.
As we see more cloud solutions like this, automating and integrating these really core business functions, data management, reporting, accounting, how might that change what it even means to run a business? Could it shift the focus fundamentally away from just managing the day-to-day grind, the admin, towards more strategic thinking, towards growth innovation?
That's a fascinating question, isn't it? If the cloud handles the nuts and bolts so efficiently, what new opportunities does that free up for entrepreneurs? What does the future business owner look like when these tools are commonplace? Something to ponder.